you. My God, you're beautiful from the front. Hello. How you doing? Baywatch? You alright? Good, it's good to be here. I'm Daphna. That's like Daphne with an A. You're going to notice, even if I'm going to try and deny it, so I might come up with it. I have a weird accent. I've been living in London for 15 years. That's not why. I'm from Israel. I'm sorry. Not just about the accent, but that's going to be the main pain in the next 10 minutes. So bear with me. If you 20 minutes after I've fucked off, guaranteed. So don't, if not, go see your GP first thing. All right? I'm not, if it doesn't come back, I'm not going to be held responsible. I'm an immigrant, but I'm here in peace. Think of me like a Middle Eastern Mary Poppins, semi-automatic umbrella, and a spoonful of hummus makes the immigrant go down. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm actually here though as an immigrant from London. I'm leading a whole convoy of London liberals who are seeking a political asylum here in Scotland. I mean, honestly, just hide your Diet Coke and Marlboro Lights because they're coming for them. Pots of quinoa and jars of cocaine, that's what we're after. Honestly, all around London, you just see English people stomping their feet at Theresa May on television and going, "You're not my real mummy! I'm going up to Scotland to stay with Auntie Nicola. She can protect me from Uncle Donald." That's what's been going on. So how are you doing with Uncle Donald? Are you trumpeting? Anybody cheerful about this? No? Okay, good. In Glasgow there was one person and he's dead now. So, listen, it might not be as bad as we thought. You might have noticed Trump is already retracting for some of his election promises or maybe threats. Clearly, it's quite obvious now that women are not going to be publicly flogged if they had an abortion. Not in the first term, anyway. Trump's first term, not the abortion. That first term. And also, he now denies that he's going to appoint Darth Vader to the High Court of Justice. I mean, he said he scores quite high on evil, but he's still black. Well, he is. He's also... I mean, my American friends are freaking out no less than my British friends. I think really they're not used to this kind of hard times. They want to run away to Canada. How stupid is that? I mean, honestly, if somebody takes over your house with a nuclear bomb and his finger on the red button, do you really go over to next door? Even if their dad is really hot? I mean, no, you go to space, you go to New Zealand. I don't know if some of you are old enough to remember this popular Christmas present of the 90s, plots of land on the moon. I think that's a good time to dig out those deeds. That's not yeah. Many people are wondering, how did we end up here? How did we end up with this whole mess? I think we need to look back at history. We need to look back actually at the beginning of this year. In the first 2 weeks of the year, you might remember we lost David Bowie, he was 69 years old, and then Alan Rickman, who was also 69 years old. Then everybody started banging on about how Donald Trump was also 69 years old. But did anybody actually do anything about it? Come on! What were they expecting? Cancer doesn't just happen. Somebody should have given him a cigarette. I mean, now he's 70, so it's too late. That's it. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, I think this is just the highlight of 2016, which is generally... how's it been treating you, 2016? Anybody happy in 2016? Alright, kill them later. But honestly, there's always a little group of people who something great happened to them, some orgasm or something, everybody else is fucked. I mean, I think this year for me, what it taught me is that I was right when I suspected that what life does. It gives you a little peck on the cheek, and then punches you in the face. That's what it was like for me. Earlier this year, I went and bought this beautiful top. You've got to admit. And I know, next thing I knew, Prince died. And then Sadiq Khan got elected mayor of London. I wasn't happy about that. Then I went to see my GP and he said, "Madam, brace yourself for perimenopause." And then there was one sunny day and I lost my job. And then I had a one-night stand. Like small, I mean, not a big deal, but you know, you take what you can get. Brexit. That's what happened next. Brexit. Now, I don't know how you feel about Brexit. I know exactly how you feel about Brexit. Thank fuck, I'm in Scotland. Good. I was, of course, a bit startled, even though I'm not even European. So, you know. On that morning, on that crucial morning, I'm sure all of you remember what you did. I went to bed after Glasgow voted, so I was like, yay, it's going to be all right. And then I wake up in the morning from a text on my phone. I pick it up, and there's a text from an English friend. Oh, hun. I mean, ever heard a good message that starts with oh, hun? Obviously bad news. Oh, hun. I'm so sorry. I'm ashamed to be British today. So I picked up the phone, called my brother in Jerusalem, and said, bro, buy pounds, quick, and a lot. Actually did. But then the next 5 texts on my phone were from British friends proposing to marry me for my Israeli passport. I was desperate, motherfuckers. Been living down there for 15 years looking for a husband, now I can go for the higher bidder, so that was good. That was good. But seriously, I was a bit worried. I thought this might come between me and my British friend. This might come between me and my British friends. And it's not easy to make English friends particularly. I mean, I've been living there for 15 years, I have 2. And Alan's a bit of a cunt. But I thought, you know, this might just pull us apart altogether. But then I thought about it for 5 minutes and I realized, if anything, this is going to bring us closer together. We're going to be spending way more time together in the all other passports queue at the airport. You know, like, normally they're at the 7th coffee by the time I come out. I mean, now we're already together, so that was good. That was good. But then the week started and it was not pleasant. I don't know how it was here, but in London it was tense. Tuesday came and it was feeling like, and I was thinking, oh no, maybe this is when they start looting. And then I was thinking, I'm broke and unemployed. Maybe this is when I start looting. Because, you know, I might be skinned, but I'm still middle class. When I need to go to the corner shop to get my Sauvignon Blanc, maybe I don't need to rummage around for my fiver. I just go with my baseball bat. Alright, some of you are looking at me suspiciously thinking, you don't really have a baseball bat. I don't really have a baseball bat. I'm still schlepping it out an old service Uzi from back in the day, so I'm ready to loot anytime. I'm good for a good loot. Basically, people started saying after Brexit, I don't feel at home here anymore. I don't feel at home here in this country anymore. British people and foreign people were all saying that. And I did not get what the hell they were talking about. If anything, I was suspecting that the whole thing was done to make me feel more at home. You know, just the scent of brewing racism in the air. Violence kind of growing step by step. Politicians not taking any fucking responsibility. Just bring the sunshine in and it's Jerusalem all over again. Awesome. I was really happy about that. I told you before, I'm an immigrant. I don't want you to think that I'm some amateur immigrant. I'm actually a qualified immigrant. I have done and passed the Life in the UK test. Are you familiar with that test? No? What about you guys? Yeah, you see that? Okay, this is the Life in the UK test is a pub quiz that the government gives immigrants for free. I think it's unfair the British people don't get to share it, so we have about 2 minutes, and we're going to have a little Life in the UK pub quiz. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Good, because we're going to do it anyway. Okay, let's start with the quick true and false question about the royals. The Queen is married to Prince Philip. True or false?
True!
Well done! Tell an immigrant. Immigrants don't know about Philip. Did you know about Philip before you came here? No. His reputation doesn't travel very well. We all come to this. No, right? We all come to this country oblivious of Philip, but soon we find out because we're immigrants, so we're players. So we wait until we make a few British friends, like 7 years in, and then we go, what's the deal with your queen? Is she single? Is she available? Is she gay? Is she straight? Maybe she's on Tinder. Forget about her, she's taken, she's been married for years and years and years to an old, obnoxious, racist drunk. Which is why every single immigrant in this country is absolutely convinced that Jeremy Clarkson is the king. True story. True story. Right, I'll ask you the most important question in the test before I let you go. It's the most important one, also the most famous one. 10% of the questions in the Life in the UK test are about pubs. You would think British people spend a lot of time in pubs, who knew? And the question is that it's a multiple choice, so don't jump. You spill a stranger's pint at the pub. What happens next? Okay, you're all kind of course we know because we're Scottish people, and even if you were English, you would still know. You have a pub, you go down the pub, you spill a pint. You know what? I'm from the Middle East. We don't have many pubs in the Middle East. It was as if I was to ask you 5 people of Edinburgh, you hear a few shots 2 blocks away. What happens next? Now, if you're from Jerusalem like myself, or from Baltimore, you know fuck well what happens next. You lay down and act white. But if you're British, harder to tell, so they've given a choice. 1, you apologize and offer to buy that person another drink. 2, you dry their shirt with your own shirt. Right? Get touchy-feely because physical intimacy with strangers is what we like most in this country. 3, slowly and carefully make your way to the car park. There's going to be a fight. Now, of course, there was a lot of protest. They added the Glaswegian answer, which is, of course, you break the pint and glass the fucker in the face. The answer is, of course, you apologize and offer to buy them another drink. It doesn't mean you get to sleep with them, by the way. No, I mean, you know, try and test it. You're lonely, you're an immigrant, you're far away from home. This is not a Hugh Grant film. If it was, you only ever get to be the kooky best friend, so fuck that shit. Right, guys, I'm gonna go now because I promised to keep my set here tonight short and tight, and I'm a woman of my word when it comes to these kind of things. I'm a Jewish woman. I've never given birth. It doesn't get any tighter than that.